Okay. This trash ass nigga.
This trash ass nigga. All right, bro. Let me
Man,
start
shut
off.
your bitch ass up. Yeah, start that shit.
Yeah, shut your bitch ass up. All right. Whitebeard is as strong as he was in his prime. Shanks skills to Whitebeard, and then Mihawk is above Shanks.
Uh, nah. I got problems with a lot of that shit. We got to go one by one. What was the
Okay.
first one you said?
I said Whitebeard is as strong as he was in his prime. Want me to
Is
post the
that
scan?
true?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true.
What's that shit?
All right. Here's the scan. It's from Databook Blue Deep.
Um,
The check scans. The scan channel.
all
It
right. Hold
says
on.
the last sentence of the big paragraph. It says, despite his advanced age, which requires daily infusions and other special treatments, this old man still has his old strength and vigor. And if you question what old strength and vigor means, it's referring to his prime. If you look at what else is said in that paragraph,
Okay. All right. And then what was the next thing you said?
Shanks is relative to Whitebeard. We see them clash, and they do sky split.
I mean, you don't have to. You don't have to be like relative to somebody to split the sky, bro.
Why?
Because Luffy did it with Kaido, and he was way weaker than him.
Hold on. You
Base,
realize?
base
Hold on.
Luffy
Why?
split the sky with Kaido.
Yeah, but he was using advanced conquerors. Do you think advanced conquerors get stronger with Luffy's gears or something?
Yeah, it do
Why?
like his punch. The attack of his punch gets harder. Or I mean, the AP of his punch gets harder. That's what I mean.
Yeah, the AP, but like that's when he
Yeah.
isn't using advanced conquerors. You realize what that is,
Why
right?
does it matter? Yeah, I know what that
The
is, but
reason
why does
why it
that
matters
matter?
because advanced conquerors isn't a physical attack. So you can't really apply like physical stats like, oh, he gets faster, so that means his punches are stronger. You
So
can't
your
really apply
point.
that
So
to
your point is that the AP doesn't matter, and that two people with advanced conquerors is going to clash and split the sky no matter what. That's your point.
nice straw man, dumbass.
You just said the AP don't matter. You said that shit.
Well, hold on.
Did you
So
not
so I
say that?
said I said two things. I said two things. Shanks and Whitebeard clash, right? I'm pretty sure you know what a clash is. And then they also split the sky. You're only attacking the part where they split the sky, even though this is a point that has two pieces of evidence.
Yeah, I'm saying Luffy and Kaido did the exact same shit. And you just said the AP don't matter, right? And then you said I was strawmanning. Why'd you say the
Well,
AP
yeah,
don't
yeah,
matter?
because you said his gears can make advanced conquerors stronger, and I'm saying, well, what's the evidence for that? Because like you said,
That
oh
his
well, his
gears
his
make him
his
stronger?
AP gets higher. You said his AP gets higher with his gears, but his gears are a physical thing. Advanced conquerors isn't, so you can't really apply the same thing. So unless you can prove what you said, then
Wait, you
can
want me to prove that the gears make his AP stronger when he uses gear
that's
5 and
not
like gear 4?
that's not what I asked you to prove, dumbass.
All right, tell
You
me
paid
what you want
attention.
me to prove. What should I prove?
Okay, let me repeat this again. Let me say this is in words you can understand, simpleton. I want you to prove why advanced conquers get stronger with his gears.
Not if I said the AP of the attack gets stronger when he puts gears on.
Is that not the same thing? Or unless you're talking about Luffy's base punches, that's whatever. But I'm talking about conquers.
Yeah, I'm saying his base punch with Conquers is not as strong as his gear 4 punch with Conquers.
All right, go ahead and prove that.
I mean, there would be no. Why would he use gear 4 if it's the same strength as base?
Gear
You're
four
gonna.
provides the durability amp and it provides a speed amp.
Nah, he uses like gear 4 Bound Man and Tank Man and shit. And
He uses Tank Man on rooftop.
I, either way, that base Luffy is still weaker than Kaido. That's the point. He's like a good amount weaker than Kaido because Kaido
Yeah,
killed him
based
like
on
three
what?
times in a row. Because Kaido beat him 3 times in a row and he kept coming back.
Yeah, you could. So you realize the first time he beat him, he got up again, and then he started using advanced conquerors. The second time he beat him, that was when the CP0 guy interfered, and the third time, I don't remember the third time.
No, the third time was the CP0. The second time
Okay,
he just
then what,
lost,
then
and
what
then
was the second time?
the
Oh, he
second
got
time
knocked off roof.
he had gotten knocked out, and then Yamato went up there and fought for a little bit for him until he could eat and then come back.
Show me the panel where he got knocked out. No,
Okay.
actually, no. Let me rephrase that. Show me the attack that happened right before that.
All right. All right. This shit might be a little bit hard to find though. Give me a second.
All right. You better not lose when you were talking all that smack earlier.
Nah, bro. Hold on. Let me find this shit. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I don't feel like finding it, but if you lose to
Yeah.
somebody, so look. Kaido didn't just fight him, right? Kaido fought a bunch of other niggas, and then he fought Luffy too, right? And he beat him 4 times in a row. So he's not stronger than him.
And inflating
That's
the
common
argument,
sense, right?
saying he fought other people. The other people he fought
What do you
proved they
mean?
did significant damage to him.
Zoro
Actually,
scarred
hold
him.
on.
Zoro scarred him.
Huh? Zoro scarred him?
Zoro scarred him.
Yeah, dude. Where is it indicated that scar like physically weakened him?
He literally like keeled over and groaned. It was like, oh shit, that shit hurt. What you mean was the indicator? And it scarred
you
him.
can get hurt. You can get hurt. That doesn't mean you're any weaker, any slower. Unless he got some serious
Bro,
damage.
if a nigga cuts you and you say, oh, that's gonna leave a mark. He literally said that's gonna leave a mark. You're telling me it just didn't do shit to him. That's your point.
Yeah. What's wrong with that? You never been cut before? You think when you get cut, you just like slowly become 5% slower in every step?
No, but like when you're the nigga that never gets cut. That's Kaido's whole thing. He never gets cut. He does not get cut by shit.
The same rule still applies.
And then he got cut.
Kaido's the nigga who never gets cut. So what?
And then he groaned. All right, when you get hit by some shit and then you groan and lean over and start yelling, it hurt you, right?
Yeah, that shit hurt. I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I'm not saying that every injury doesn't have to necessarily lead to you being like weaker. Like if you can prove,
and regardless, wait,
hold on. Before we move on.
No, we're staying on this.
Fatigue, that's whatever. But like, if you're saying that this one cut slowed him down, then I doubt it. And like again,
no, I'm saying in general.
In general,
not just that cut. Not just that cut. Like not just that cut. Like you just fighting niggas in general. Fighting lowers your stamina, right?
Okay.
Hold on.
It depends on who you're fighting.
But, all right, niggas that are capable
if them niggas ain't forcing Kaido to go all out, I'm not sure how you prove he's fatigued.
Oh no, against Yamato, he said he wasn't holding back against Yamato too. In between Luffy fight, I can go get that. That should be.
Yeah, but you said they fought for a little bit. So even if they did fight for a little bit, like you're saying, like that shit probably didn't like really help. And on top of that, there's a scan where Luffy just says that Kaido's Conqueror's Haki is getting stronger. So it's like even if you want to say he's fatigued and all that, his Conqueror's is getting stronger. So I don't know how this really affects my overall point about the Conqueror's.
So what? Clash. You can get fatigued and still get a power up.
What the hell?
What's your point?
So you think he went from 100 back to a 50, and then he went up to an 80, and Luffy's like, yeah, this guy's getting stronger. You think that's what he meant by that?
Not his fatigue. Like your fatigue could be going down, your power could like just get a random boost. Yeah.
Okay, so if his power is what gets a random boost, that's whatever. My point was that they Whitebeard and Shanks do a Conqueror's Clash, and then you're trying to disprove the fact that the Conqueror's Clash would mean anything by saying he's fatigued. But if his power, which is the Conqueror's coding,
no, that's not
where it's getting stronger, then that don't mean anything. The fuck, that only helps my point.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying.
Then what are you saying?
I'm saying that Kaido is stronger than Luffy. But they still clash and split the sky, just like Shanks and Whitebeard.
Yeah,
you don't have to really be that close. And then my reason you told me to prove that Luffy's weaker than Kaido, and it's because he beat him 4 times in a row and had other niggas fighting in between. Yeah, they fought him 5v2 at one point.
So it's like so you said oh, he beat him 4 times in a row. You straight. I'm not even sure where you get the 4th one from. So you get 3 on rooftop. The 3rd one was interference. The first one was before he got Conqueror's coding, and the second one. You didn't provide any evidence for that, so we're gonna discard that.
So you don't believe me? Okay, now I'm just gonna find it.
Okay, so if you want to bring it up now, you're backtracking. You know that, right? You moved on.
What do you mean?
You moved on from that point the second you started talking about.
I didn't feel like finding it, but the logic was still like pretty simple.
But yeah, you can if you're saying that it's not a different point because it's the same conclusion. That's whatever, but that's still it's still be separate points. It's like saying. Oh, it's the same path, even though I took X path, you took Y path. We still got to the same conclusion. That's like saying X and Y are the same thing, but they're not.
I'm saying, what is okay. Do you believe me or not that he beat him like 3 or 4 times?
I only remember 3 instances. The second time, you moved on from that without providing any evidence. So we're gonna treat that like that didn't happen.
So you don't believe me on the second time. That's your point.
So yeah, even if I do say I believe you, you'd still be backtracking. If you try to go find the scan, if I say I don't believe you, you went to find the scan, that'd be backtracking. I'm not backtracking. Can't do that.
I said I don't feel like finding it because you were saying you were like, let's look for the exact instance. You were finna break down what happened, but I was like, it doesn't really matter as long as you beat the nigga 3 times in a row. You're stronger than the nigga.
Okay. Like, right? So yeah, but context matters, right? If what I'm thinking of is what happened, then the second time makes sense, and Luffy can still have
Oh
equal
wait, hold on,
conquest.
no, hold on, no. This is just common sense why he's strong. So Luffy was fighting with him, right? And then he got a power up, and he still was equal to him. So that means before he was
Yeah, the
definitely
Gear
weaker.
5 power up, is that what you're
Yeah,
talking about?
yeah, he got Gear 5 and was still equal to him. So that means before he was definitely weaker, right? That's common sense.
Okay, hold on. I already explained to you what the gears can do despite Conqueror's
What do
Coding,
you
right?
mean?
The gears can increase speed, the gears can increase durability,
No, Gear
and
Gear 5 is
especially
different
hold
from
on,
the
hold
other
on, hold
gears.
on, hold on. Especially Gear 4 and Snake Man allow different ways of attack. Like Gear 4 allows like winding attacks that somewhat counter his future sight, and Gear 5 allows Luffy to do whatever he imagines. So those are
Yeah.
different ways of fighting that don't necessarily relate to Conqueror's Coding. So even if you say it's a power up, which I agree, I don't know how this proves Conqueror's Coding gets stronger.
I'm
It
not
makes no
proving that if Conqueror's coding gets stronger. I'm proving that he
Okay,
was
then if you're not proving that, then that don't
that
matter. You can say Kaido's
matter.
overall stronger. You can say Kaido's overall stronger. But my point is, if two Conquerors coding people clash, they're equal, and you're trying to say, well, Kaido's generally stronger, so therefore this can't be the case. They can be equal in one point, which is Conquerors coding, but then not be equals in a different point, which allows Kaido to be overall stronger.
You're saying
If
that
you're
they
not
have
going to prove,
equal.
if you're not going to
You're
prove the
saying that they
Conquerors
have
coding
equal
thing,
conquerors,
if you're not
right?
going to prove the Conquerors coding thing, we can move on.
So you're just saying that they have equal conquerors, but they're not equal in strength, right? That's your point.
Yeah, overall, that's what
Okay, so Shanks and Whitebeard are not equal. That does not mean that they're equal in strength just because they clash and split the sky. It doesn't mean that. You
Well,
just said
hold
that.
on. So
Whoa!
okay,
What
on
you mean?
top of
Hold on.
hold on. But the thing is, their Conqueror's Clash is different from Luffy and Kaido's. Their blades touch as well. So so they're
What?
physically interacting with each other while flexing their Conquerors. So not only would it just be like, oh, Conqueror's Clash, it'd be a physical clash and a Conqueror's Clash. And if they're
Well, not well. You
clashing
can touch.
physically,
You can touch each
hold
other
on. If
and
they're
clash
clashing
and still not be
physically,
equal.
then that means they're relative.
No, because you can clash physically and still not be equal. Marco clashed with Big Mom. They're not equal.
Yeah, you want to know what Marco has that Whitebeard doesn't? Infinite
What does Marco have?
regeneration.
What does that do with clashing?
But yeah, you can. Okay, so you
What does regen
realize,
have to
right?
do with clashing?
If you let's say I'm getting shot at, right? Like, sorry, let's say my friend is getting shot at, and I jump in the way of the bullets, but I'm clashing with. I can stop the bullets because of my infinite regen. Then the bullets just fall off
You're
because
not
I just regen the
clashing.
damage right away.
Marco wasn't just tanking the punch; he's clashing with her.
Oh, hold on, show me the scan.
Marco clashing with Big Mom. All right.
Yeah,
It's literally just an even clash. I got it right here.
man, why did Victor leave?
All right, 10 scan.
Okay, let
They're
me check.
physically touching.
Yeah, but he's literally in this hybrid form. And the method in
So
which he's
what?
attacking, he's literally you literally see the blue flames, his flames. I shouldn't say blue because it's not color. You literally see his flames like having a
And
shockwave
what?
pattern
That
and
doesn't
time they
mean that his
clash.
flames are equal to Big Mom.
Yeah, but his flames, we literally see his regeneration allows him to block things that would generally be far stronger than him. You
That
remember
yeah,
when? Remember
block, not
when?
clashing.
Hold on. Remember when? What's his name? That guy Kaido. Remember Kaido shot a beam at Nami after he announced that Luffy was dead. Marco jumps in the way, starts using his flames to deflect the beam. Right? That's because of Marco's regeneration. And
Okay, what about
if Marco is shown to be using his regenerative powers to clash with Big Mom, my point still stands.
okay? What about this point? Luffy in Gear 5 clashed with Rob Lucci. They're not equal. They physically touch. Now what?
Gear 5, that
Now
could be
what?
just armament. That could just be armament. That's whatever.
What? Why does it matter? No. You're saying they fit. You're saying that if you physically touch, you're physically equal. If you physically
Yeah,
clash, you're physically equal.
but like you,
Luffy
okay,
and
so
Rob Lucci are not physically equal. Gear 5 Luffy and Rob Lucci, they're not physically equal.
okay, hold on. So I said they're clashing, so in this point they're equals, right? And then you're saying, oh well, they clashed, but that clash was armament only, and we literally know that Luffy's like goofing off.
What is that? What is that? Like, why does that matter?
Okay,
He's still trying to beat Rob Lucci.
If Luffy's goofing off, not going full power, he can okay, so he's relative to Lucci while he's not going full power. Whatever.
I mean, it's definitely questionable that Whitebeard and Shanks are even going full power.
What the okay, so what's the skepticism for that? Where'd that come from?
I mean, they're friendly. They're literally chilling. They're talking. They're chopping it up.
Whitebeard literally starts off the conversation by insulting him.
And then he says, "We're not going to fight. We're cool." And they sit down and they drink together. They pour a cup up.
Okay,
Then
so
they start drinking.
then after they clash, Shanks' crew specifically points out how they thought they weren't gonna fight.
And then they were
So
still
even
chilling
though
even
they came
after
in,
that.
even though hold on, even if they came in with the expectation they weren't gonna fight, they still end up clashing. That doesn't prove anything though.
Wait, what? You're
So
saying if
so
they came with the expectation they weren't going to fight?
answer my
Oh, what?
question.
I'm saying that
Answer
Whitebeard
my
and Shanks are friends.
question.
That's my point. I don't know what you're talking about. Like they're cool.
What?
Whitebeard
Don't
and
they
Shanks
just
are
call each
cool.
other enemies? I
Yeah,
could have
they're
sworn
enemy, but
there's a
like
chain
they're
of.
cool. Like they're still enemies on the fact that like they're both like pirates at the end of the day, but like they're cool
If
with each
they're
other. Like
okay,
they're
so
sitting and they're
so
sharing a cup. They poured a cup.
okay, so treat it. So let's treat this like let's say Luffy and Crocodile, right, were to meet up with each other, even though they technically be enemies because they're both under different Yonko crews, right? They're somewhat cool with each other after the events of Marineford. But if Crocodile randomly attacked Luffy, you don't think Luffy's gonna try to defend himself? Or I should say Luffy because like Luffy probably should be strong. Like let's just say like anyone relative on Luffy's crew, like if you think it's Zoro or whatever, just for the hypothetical.
All right. Wait, what? Oh, okay, what
The
about? All right,
hypothetical.
look, I'll just go with the new example. Luffy clashed with. Oh, actually, but that was headbutts. Shit. Okay. All right. Wait. What was your What you just ask me? My bad.
Okay, so my hypothetical was, all right. So let's say someone from Luffy's crew, I don't know, like Zoro or Sanji, right? We're to talk to Crocodile. After the events of Marineford, Crocodile and Luffy are cool, so therefore the crew should be cool with Crocodile, right? Fine with that?
No, they weren't at Marineford. If they seen Crocodile, they're gonna be on bad timing. They're not just cool with Crocodile.
Well, okay.
None of them know
You
about
think
shit at Marineford.
I'm just bringing up a hypothetical, right? Let's say Luffy told them about what happened on Marineford, how he assisted him, right? They would be cool with him if Luffy's cool with him. I'm just saying, like, we'll
Okay,
assume
so
like
they're
Luffy does.
cool. In this
Okay,
hypothetical,
so
they're
they're cool,
cool
but
with
they're still
Crocodile.
enemies. But if you think Crocodile is gonna go attack, like actually screw this example. We literally see this happen. Remember on Egghead when
Yeah,
Lucci
what?
like betrays the crew and he starts fighting. Zoro literally is the first one to step into action. You think he's holding back there?
Because niggas aren't cool with Lucci. Niggas were never cool with Lucci.
Well, so they were literally chilling,
Shanks and
eating
Whitebeard
with
are
them.
cool.
They were literally chilling, eating with them, smiling with them. They were just fighting
Because
with
they
them,
didn't think of
like
him as a
alongside them.
threat. They didn't like they were just disrespecting him. They're like, we gonna whoop your ass and we not even gonna lock you up. We're just gonna let you. You're not a
Yeah,
threat. Like
we
we're just
because
gonna let you
there's
run around.
multiple people. There's multiple people. There's a Yonko. There's two commanders. There's other people who can assist. But this is Whitebeard and Shanks.
Yeah, it's Whitebeard and
So
Shanks.
even if you
And
want to
like
say,
why
well,
they didn't
the
even
Fry are
look, why
different,
didn't they
you
keep
literally
fighting
still
after?
see
Why didn't
Zoro
they
jump
keep
into
fighting
action.
after? Why didn't they keep fighting after they
Why didn't
clashed?
they keep fighting after?
Yeah, after they
I don't know.
clashed.
We don't see the rest of the interaction. We don't know how that went. If
What
you're
do you
trying to
mean? Yeah,
argue
we
from
do.
if you're trying to argue from what we don't know, then that's just not an argument. If you're trying to say, well, we don't know how it went, so we don't know how
What you
this
mean?
went.
Wasn't Shanks like back on his ship?
No, the chapter. Sorry, I shouldn't say the chapter. Their interaction ends with Shanks's crewmates reacting to what happened. I just read this.
Let me
I'm
see.
reading One Piece. I'm like 440 or something like that. And this chapter was like late 300s, early 400s.
Let me see. Also, you're saying that they did
We
keep
don't
fighting
know
after?
how this ended, so I don't really need to answer that unless you have extra evidence that provides like, oh, why they
Okay,
aren't going
but
all
you
out.
think it's probable that they did keep fighting? Because if you don't, then like you
I
think
don't
it's
want to
likely
answer
that
that
they.
question.
What do you mean?
So if I'm saying, yeah, it's likely they're being serious here, and they clash show on relativity that shows a serious Whitebeard is relative to a serious Shanks, and then my scale goes through. I don't care if they kept fighting afterwards. That question's irrelevant to the debate.
All right, that's cool. But I still gave you the two examples of niggas touching physically, and there was no
Yeah, I already. Well, hold on. What was the second example? Because I was just the Marco one. What was the second one? Oh,
Luffy and Lucci.
Lucy and Luffy. I already
Yeah,
told you Luffy wasn't going all out.
I mean, how do you know that?
How do I know that? Luffy was actively trolling. We see him
How do
get
you, what do
serious
you
when
mean
he's
he's
in Gear
trolling?
5 before, and he doesn't show any of those signs, so it's unlikely.
What do you nah? Even against Kaido, he's like laughing and fucking around and just doing goofy shit. He'd
Yeah,
always
but
like that in Gear
he's.
5.
Well, hold on. That's not what I'm saying. The reason why he's goofing off, right, is because he. Okay, unless you think Lucci and Kizaru are of the same strength, the only logical conclusion you can go with as to why Luffy clashed with what's his name, Lucci, is that Luffy's holding back. Unless you think Lucci and Kizaru are relative, or Lucci's above Kizaru. That's the evidence.
No. Luffy and Kizaru never even clash either.
Yeah, yes, they do.
What do you mean? They clashed?
Yeah.
What? Okay, so you're saying that Luffy and Kizaru are the same strength?
Well,
Because they clashed,
okay,
right?
I'm saying in a situation where we know Luffy's being serious, right? In a situation where we know Luffy's being serious, we can at least agree on that,
No,
right?
they didn't clash. Luffy just kicked him and he blocked it. That wasn't a clash. He
No,
blocked and
I'm
kicked.
not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. That's obviously not clash. He's just blocking the attack. I'm talking about later. It's the last chapter of their fight. At the very start of it, we literally see them clashing. Do you know what chapter that is?
Nah, it's not, it shouldn't. It should be like 10 chapters away from the most recent one or some shit.
Okay, I'll go show you. This is the cross skill stuff. What the hell is this? Okay. This is Sabo stuff. Okay, this is what happens on Hachi no Su. Um, this is before they start fighting. Shit.
Okay, I think it's 1094.
Okay, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah, this should be it. Oh, I was wrong. It wasn't the first page, but we literally see them clashing.
See them clashing. Just show me.
Here it is. 1094.
All right, let me see.
Inside the lava phase, we literally see this is we see them clashing.
Where are they? Oh, you're talking about on the top left?
Yeah. What do you think that impact thing means?
Okay, they're clash. Wait, so Luffy clashes with Kizaru, Lucci, and Kaido. They're not all the same strength, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying, okay,
Exactly.
well, one.
So you don't have
Well,
to be equal to clash.
Hold on. I'm saying one, Kaido, and Kizaru, we know he was serious against. Two, we don't know if he was serious against Lucci. So I'm supporting that fact that he wasn't serious with this. Unless you want to say Lucci is on Kaido and Kizaru's level, then it's unlikely.
You're saying he's not serious against Kizaru?
No, oh my god, I'm not about to explain this again.
Nigga, what?
I've already explained this.
Look, anyways, Kizaru and Kaido are not the same strength either way. And he clashed with both of them.
Hold on.
Yeah, right?
You realize, okay, so you can exclude Kaido because Luffy isn't using advanced conquerors here. I'm just talking about a clash in general. We would like no advance. No advanced conquerors.
I mean, how do you even know they're touching in this one?
Because there's an impact line there?
There's an impact line on the no touch clashes too.
Yeah,
like the whole sky goes down.
Because Luffy's implied not to use advanced conquerors hockey until the very last punch of the attack. So this is likely just like them like recoiling from their clash.
So you are saying that Kizaru
I'm saying again, right? We see Kizaru against a no conquers Gear 5 Luffy. We see Lucci against a no conquers Gear 5 Luffy. We see both of them clash, and unless you want to claim that Lucci is relative to Kizaru, then it's unlikely that Luffy was going all out against Lucci.
I don't see why Lucci can't be relative to Kizaru.
Okay, then prove it. Well,
no, what do you mean? I don't have to prove
what
it.
other evidence is there to support that?
The only fight we've seen in a minute is with Gear 5 Luffy. And then
yeah,
he's
but we're
fighting
literally
Zoro
arguing over that. If you're trying to use this cane to say that, oh, Lucci, if you're trying to, oh my god. If you're trying to
No,
say
no,
that,
you have
this
to
scan
prove it.
proves, hold on. If you're trying to say that this scan proves that they're relative, right? Then that just be circular. We're already arguing over the scan and what it means in the broader sense of scaling. You can't just like use the same scan like while we're arguing over the scan. That's circular. So unless there's
No,
any other thing that you can
your
point to
proof
that
is circular.
provides why they're relative, then Luffy was holding back against Lucci.
No, your proof is circular. Because this is what happened. You said that Luffy was messing around against Lucci. I said why, and then you said because he's fighting, he clashed with somebody else that is stronger than Lucci. I said why is he stronger than Lucci? You had no answer for that.
Why is he stronger than Lucci? Because he's okay. The reason why he's stronger than Lucci is because the what's it called? The Marine, sorry, not the Marines. The admirals of the Navy's ultimate fighting force.
CP0 is a hidden, and they're not part of the Navy. CP0 is world government, so they're not Navy.
World government Navy, don't they fall under the same tree?
No, they're different branches.
Well, hold on. You realize the admirals have to like work directly under the people who control the world government, right? So even if you want
Exactly,
to
so
say,
they're
well,
not
the
the same
technically,
tree.
even if you
You're
want to
working,
say, if
one's
you want,
working under the
even if
other.
you want to say, even if you want to say, well, hold on, that's even
Want
a
to say
lie.
what?
We literally see, Annie's lobby, the place where CP0 agents, sorry, CP0, CP9 agents work at, is where Marines are too. The fuck?
What do you? No, CP9 doesn't work there. They just went there to fight them. CP9 does not work there.
Then what were all those what were all those Cypherpole agents like the ones in the ones that are known, right? The ones that Sanji beat up in the sea train. What were they all doing on the train then?
CP1 through 8.
Yeah,
Then wait, no, that was CP9 too. There was 1 through 8 there.
yeah, 1 through 8 was there. That's what Sanji did, right? The CP9 was at the
I
very
mean,
front holding
either way it
captive.
doesn't matter because CP0, them niggas aren't Marines. Marines are Marines. Them
Yeah, but
niggas
they're
are
part of the
world
Marine.
government.
They're part of the Marine
No,
system, though.
CP9 is the intelligence agency of the world government. The Marines are the Marines. Their Navy is the Marines. I mean,
Well,
there's a
yeah, but
difference, bro.
they still be considered part of the same because they both work under the
No, it
world
wouldn't
government.
because the ultimate power for the Navy is the admiral. The ultimate power for the world government is the Holy Knights. It's different. They got different shit. Unless you're saying that the admirals are stronger than like the fucking M and shit, the god nigga.
Well, the ultimate fighting force, I'm saying they both work under, not on an equal level to. If they both were on an equal level and they're like as like a collective, not saying like, oh, 1 to 1. As a collective, if the world government and the Marines were equal, and then it said, oh yeah, the admirals of the Navy's ultimate fighting force, then it'd be possible. But because they work under, it wouldn't be including them. I'm saying because also I'm saying the Marines and CP0 work under the world government and they can work for the world
But they're
government
different
if
branches.
likely. Huh? Yeah,
They're
different
different
branches
branches.
under the same tree.
One is the
That's why
Navy,
I
one
say,
is the intelligence agency. They're saying that the niggas from the Navy, these are the strongest niggas from the Navy. And then these are the strongest niggas from the intelligence agency. They're two different things.
cat.
What do you
Okay,
mean,
well, hold on.
Cap? They're not Navy.
Okay,
Every nigga that's
okay, I'm
Marine
kidding. Okay, so the reason
Marine
why,
coat or a Marine hat.
the reason why Lucci's below, Kizaru is because Lucci's going relative with Zoro right now. And unless you want to say Zoro's equal to Luffy's equal to Kizaru, and then by extension be equal to Lucci, that'd be weird. The fuck?
Well, why is Zoro weaker than Kizaru?
Why is Zoro weaker than Kizaru? Because he's weaker than Luffy.
He's weaker than Luffy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I guess he is weaker than Luffy, but Kizaru is weaker than
Yeah.
Luffy. Because Luffy didn't even have to use Advanced Conquerors to the last hit to beat him. And
Yeah,
Luffy
okay.
got...
So I'm saying base gear
Yeah,
5 is
Kizaru's
stronger
weaker than
than I'm
Luffy.
saying base gear 5, no conquerors coding is stronger than Zoro. So that don't matter. This is literally what we've
Base
been
Gear
arguing
5,
about.
no Conquerors? No, that's not stronger than Zoro. What are you
Well,
talking
okay.
about?
Why not?
What do you mean? No, you have to prove this. This is your scaling, bro. This is your scaling.
I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah, this is your scaling.
The reason why he's above Zoro is because he scales to Kaido.
With
In
no
speed,
Conquerors? No, he doesn't. With no Conquerors, he's getting fucked up by Kaido.
That's
In
in his speed.
speed?
Yeah, in
Wait,
speed, and then
when?
he has all that. Huh?
How?
Don't
Wasn't he getting
you don't
blitzed by
remember when they
Kaido?
were exchanging blows?
His future sight was getting blitzed by Kaido when Kaido went serious speed. His
Yeah,
future
and
sight
then
got blitzed.
and Kaido was getting hit by Gear 4 Snake Man with his future setup. They were going relative. You can't say, oh he was able to outspeed it this time. That means he's above. When they were
I mean,
going back and
Snake Man
forth,
is probably
people be taking
faster than Gear 5.
isolated instances out of like context, bro. To realize this happened multiple times on both sides.
I mean, Snake Man is faster than Gear 5, though. Because Snake Man
Really?
is made for speed. It's made for that's the only thing that it's used for. That's why he
Okay,
pulled it
so
out against
I guess
Kizaru. Why else would he pull it out
I
against
guess
Kizaru
okay,
right away?
hold on. I guess because Gear 2 I guess because Gear 2 is made for speed. It's faster than Gear 4. Sorry, what's it called? Goddamn Gear 5 now?
Gear 2 is an all around stat boost. It's not made for
Yeah,
speed.
but it's emphasized through its gain of speed.
And that was his first power up. He was just looking for any power up. He didn't really care how he got it. He was just looking for a
Okay.
power up.
Well, yeah, but you could say he was also looking for a power up against what's his name, Katakuri. That's why he went Snake Man. But like, well, what's so
Exactly. He
different?
needed speed because he needed speed to get past the future sight, and he needed speed to get past
Yeah,
like to
and
fight with
you
Kizaru.
realize the more Snake Man's like what's it called? The more his fists like curve in the air, the stronger they get. That's like saying, well, Gear 2 is different because he just needed a power up, but then you're ignoring the fact that Snake Man is a speed plus power increase. But it gets its power through speed, just like Gear 2. So unless you're trying to say they're two different things, even though I just proved to you they're not, like you're literally just rambling.
No. Either way, Snake Man. I mean, Gear 5 is faster than Zoro, but he's way weaker without Conquerors. Gear 5's
Okay, yeah, so he's
versus Zoro
faster.
is
So
getting
he's
fucked
faster
up.
than he's faster than Zoro. Then he has the Gear 5 hacks, and then he has the Gear 5 speed.
What
Like
hacks? All
what
he
the
does is
heck?
turn shit into rubber. What hacks? Like he just
Right,
turns shit into
exactly.
rubber.
That puts him above. So you think Oda just included a zero purpose transformation? So it's
No,
like,
there
oh,
is a
see,
point of it, but it's just not that broken as niggas say it is. It's
okay,
not
so
that
he's
broken. Like, what
faster.
does
So
it
he's
do?
faster and he has hacks, right? He's faster and he has hacks. What the heck is Zoro doing? And we know they should have.
Zoro's
Hold
AP
on.
is just so crazy.
Yeah,
Zoro's
his AP can above, but that like
and his
okay,
durability.
so if Luffy, let's say in a hypothetical fight, right? They were to clash. Luffy's like, oh crap, this guy's like stronger than me. I shouldn't be doing this without Conqueror's coding, right?
They're not clashing.
You think Luffy's just gonna keep going doing that, knowing that he's gonna lose in an AP clash, even though he knows he's faster, he can maneuver around. He has other hacks to deal with Zoro.
I mean, first of all, we're not even talking about the matchup. We're talking about who's just stronger in general, right? Like we're not talking about
Well,
the
yeah,
matchup
you can say
because
who's
if we are
strong.
talking about the matchup,
I've
Zoro
been
has
talking about.
the advantage on the matchup because he's rubber and he cuts him. Like that's Luffy's kryptonite, his sharp shit.
Yeah, but he gets sliced with sharp shit by Kaido scales, and he's still fighting. I don't know. I don't care.
That's on, yeah, but we're not talking about the matchup regardless. We're talking about who's stronger in general. So we look at Zoro's AP is way stronger than Luffy without Conquerors. Conquerors is like the biggest boost that he's ever had. He went from
I got
getting
a
one
quick
shot
question.
by
What does this
Kaido
have to
to
do?
clashing
I
with
got a
Kaido.
quick question. What does this have to
Yep.
do? What does this have to do with Whitebeard and Shanks main series? This was what this was arguing about in the first place. What's this have to do with
Because
it?
your scaling is relying on this to get Kizaru over, or no, because I was proving that Luffy, or no, I wasn't proving. I brought up the example of Luffy clashing with Lucci, and then you said Luffy clashed with Lucci, but he also clashed with Kizaru, so he wasn't serious against Lucci. And I said, prove that why is Kizaru stronger than Lucci? And you said because Lucci's clashing with Zoro, and Zoro's stronger than Luffy.
Oh,
So your
hold on.
whole
This is
scaling relies
self-explanatory.
on
The
Zoro
reason
versus
why,
your
okay, the
whole
reason
scaling relies
why,
on Zoro versus
hold
Luffy
on,
without
hold
Conqueror.
on. Okay, so the reason why, what's his name? Gear 5 Luffy no conquers is above well, the goddamn Zoro is because Zoro with his advanced conquers, King of Hell, going relative to Lucci, who's relative to no conquers, holding back Luffy.
Relative to no Conquerors holding back Luffy.
Yeah,
No, Zoro's not using Conquerors. What are you talking about?
yeah, he
See, I
has the
mean,
flames on his blade.
no, Zoro's definitely not going serious because we know when Zoro gets serious. When Zoro gets serious, he puts on his bandana. That's the whole thing.
Well,
That's the whole point of
you
his bandana.
realize they
He
started.
didn't put on his
You
bandana.
realize he probably just didn't have time to do that, right? You realize, well, like the whole
What do you
reason they
mean?
started fighting, the whole reason they started fighting is because Lucci started attacking them when they least expected it, and then he immediately starts fighting Lucci. Unless you can prove to me
And it
that there
still
was a
cuts
point in
back to
time.
them. No, it cuts back to them later.
Hold on. Unless you can prove to me there's a time in the fight where Zoro has enough time to put on the bandana, that don't mean nothing.
No, it do because a lot of it was off screen, and in all the most intense fights of Zoro's life, he puts it up. Like,
Okay,
what
so
do you
you're
mean
saying
there's no
because
time?
it's
He just backs up, like he just creates space real quick and puts it on. That's how he does it. He doesn't like if he's gonna get serious, that's what he does. That's the whole point. It's not even like about if Zoro had time. Like that's how the author tells us this nigga's going all out when he puts the shit on.
he puts the shit on. He's gonna
Yeah, when he puts the shit on, that's when he's going all out. Every single time Zoro puts on bandana, and he doesn't have no black spark, so he's not using conquerors. None of that. Zoro's
Yes,
not
he
going
is.
all
Yes, he
out either.
does. Okay, hold on. You said, oh, he always creates space. Every single time that, from what I recall, every single time Zoro does have enough time to create space. He, sorry, no, not create space. Every time he has time to put on the bandana is literally when he like before the fight even officially starts. And we know they started fighting off
Nah, he
rip.
does that shit mid fight. He did that shit
When?
mid fight. I think every time, every single
When?
time he put it on.
Just name instances. Name instances. I'll probably remember. Just name instances.
Against Mister One, I'm pretty sure he put that shit on mid fight.
No, he had the shit on before.
You sure? Okay, against King, he put that shit on mid fight for sure. Oh no!
Hell
Because
no.
he had that shit on
Bro,
from the
hold on.
rooftop.
He
He had
literally
that shit
just
on from the
came from the
rooftop.
rooftop.
I'm
Hold on,
tweaking.
hold
I'm
on, hold on,
tweaking.
hold on.
He
Yeah,
put
yeah,
that
I was
shit
about
on
to
mid
say.
rooftop. He put that shit on mid
Yeah,
rooftop.
oh, hold on. He had it. So even if he put that shit on, well, he didn't even put it on mid rooftop. That was before they even started fighting. Remember that panel where it's like the four, what was it, 4 or 5 of the worst generation? They were staring down the two Yonko. He puts it on shortly after that. That's like when they're having the stare down.
Yeah, like in the middle of the rooftop fight, like it just started.
No, hold on, but they aren't fighting. They're staring each other down. That's what I just told you.
Okay,
They're
and then
literally in the middle of a stare
what
down
about against
when they're
Pika?
not
What about
fighting.
against Pika?
Pika,
Yeah, what about against Pika?
he had that shit on when he cut him.
No. He didn't have that shit on first against Pika. Pika's
Okay,
a bum.
did he have it on at all, or did he not have it on at all?
He had it on.
Okay, when did he put it on?
I don't know, but I know he didn't pull up with it
Okay,
on. I remember him walking
okay,
up and
so
he
you're
just had it
saying,
green hair.
so you're
I remember
saying,
him
hold on,
walking
you
up, he
said
didn't have
okay,
it on.
he can pull up and not have it on. That doesn't erase the fact he can surely put it on right before he starts fighting. But I'm saying like all those instances from what I remember happens before the fight even officially starts.
I'm
There's a
saying, what's
difference
the
between
point of
pulling
the
up.
bandana? The point of the bandana is for the author to tell us this nigga's going all out, right? That's the whole point. What else would be the point
Okay,
of it?
that can be the point. That can be the point, but you also have to realize that things have to make sense in the story. Let's say every time Luffy goes, I shouldn't say that. That's gonna be confusing. Let's say every time, what's his name? Every time, yeah. Let's just use Zoro. Let's just say every time Zoro is being serious, he gets on the bandana, right? But we know for a fact that he didn't have time. At least from the very start, he didn't have time because they were starting. They were fighting off rip, and the rest of the fight was off. Unless you can prove, unless you can prove he like there's any sort of indication he tried to at least put it on, and Lucci stopped him. Then you're literally arguing for nothing.
No, because the whole thing was off screen. So if the author really wanted us to know that this nigga's going all out, he would have just had him like put it on when he
Yeah, but
came back. Or he would have just
we
had
know
it
they
on.
started fighting immediately. What do you think?
And all
What
we
you
haven't
think?
seen shit from Zoro and Lucci. Like they're not really displaying that they're relative. They
Do
fought for
you
just like
think
a tiny bit.
Zoro just stops? Do you think Zoro just stops in the middle of fights to just put on his bandana? Every instance you
Yes.
name happened.
Yes.
Okay, so then name one instance because every instance you named so far happens
Pika.
before the official fight starts.
Pika.
Pika, you said he pulled up. You don't know if when
He
he put it
pulled up
on
and
though.
he didn't have it on for sure.
Yeah, he can pull up and not have it. That's like saying even though you already discarded this, that's like saying well he pulled up to the rooftop with no bandana on, therefore he's not going serious, right? Or he starts therefore he puts it on mid fight, even though he puts it on right after they start staring down.
Well, look, wait, what have Zoro and Lucci done to display relativity? What have they done?
Zoro Ruuchi, they're still fighting and they clash when Zoro pushes him out the room when in the initial ambush.
Well, nah, that was just Zoro like blocking him because he just like ran up on him
No,
out of
he's
nowhere.
on the
Oh
offensive. Why
no,
do you
no,
think they're
Zoro slid on
falling?
him. Never mind. I'm joking. I mean,
Yeah,
Lucci was blocking. I meant Lucci was blocking. That's what I meant.
okay, so if they're blocking and then next time we see them, they're in the middle of a fight, right?
Yeah,
Like after they're in the middle of a fight, what do you think that means? You think
doesn't
that
mean that
like
you're relative. Yamato and
you think
Kaido
they were
probably
just
fought
running
for
around
longer
each
than
other?
that.
You think they
No,
were
I
just
mean
running around each other?
Yamato and Kaido probably fought for longer than Zoro and Lucci.
Based on what?
I mean, what it is manga? We don't really know how long it is, but like
You're arguing from ignorance?
no, I mean we
The
could go
hell?
off of like panels that they fought or pages. It's definitely Kaido and Yamato
Yeah, but
fought for more.
that's assuming every panel has the same amount of time between them. That's like saying the panel
So
between
what do you
Luffy
want to go
clashing with
off of?
Kaido.
What do you want to go
Oh,
off?
hold on, it's your burden. I don't care what we want to go off of, unless you can prove to me why that standard is universal or why it's consistent. That's whatever. You know, for a fact, manga panels are not consistent when it comes to passage of time.
Yeah, but I'm saying if they had more pages fighting, they either have like at least you can't say that the other fight had more time fighting. You got to say at least it's the same amount of time or more for the fight that had more
Well,
pages.
why?
It doesn't make any sense because it doesn't make sense. There's more time, like
Well, why does it not make sense?
because we've seen them fighting for longer. We saw more of the fight there, and like some of the
You're
Yamato
going
fight was off
circular.
screen too.
You're saying
Some
okay.
of the Yamato
You're
fight was
going
off screen
circular.
too. That's not circular.
You started off by saying, well, we see more of the fight, so you have to say at least it's the same amount of time. And I said, why? You said it doesn't make any sense. And then I said, why does it not make any sense? You're like, oh, well, it's because they're going off more pages.
I mean, that's just the logic right there. Like that's the logic.
The logic
if you
is
see
it's
more
fallacious.
of the fight,
the logic is fallacious.
What fallacy did I use?
Begging the question, or if you know it as what's it called? Circular reasoning.
That's not, bro. But that is the logic right there, because it's look.
Okay, so the logic is fallacious, so it's not a valid argument.
The logic's not fallacious because you just keep asking another question after like I already like said the whole thing.
Okay, so
this is the logic.
So if I ask you to prove, so if I say, well, apples are red because of X, and I say why, you said X makes things red, and I said why, you said because apples are red. That's circular. That's basically what you just said.
No, look. So how much? Okay. How much time? Or do you think more time passed between the first page of a manga panel or of a manga chapter or the next 5 pages of a manga chapter? Which one is it more likely?
That's not my burden. I don't know. That's not my burden.
But I'm saying it's more likely that more time passed in the other one because more shit happened. Because more shit happened.
What the heck? That don't mean. Well, what about the stuff that happens off page? You don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm saying shit happened off page for both of them, and we still saw more shit.
Yeah, so you're arguing from ignorance. You're saying, well, because we see, let's say, Kaido versus Yamato has 10 pages, but Luffy shows up on the battlefield 20 pages later. There's 10 pages of them shown to be fighting, and there's 10 pages of them to be shown not fighting. Sorry, like not shown to be fighting, but it's probably they are fighting, right? You don't know what happened in those 10 missing pages. You're literally arguing from ignorance.
I'm saying, look, we see more combat from Yamato and Kaido than we do from Lucci and Zoro. So they displayed the same amount of relativity. And Kaido and Yamato aren't relative.
Okay, so you're backtracking. You brought that up earlier.
How?
You brought that up
This is the point that we're still on that point.
Oh, okay, hold on. You're saying because that's the okay, so let me ask you a question, right? Let's say, remember that scene where Luffy knocked out Enel?
No, but what are you gonna?
Okay,
I don't remember
that scene where he punches Enel for the last time. That happens
in
a double spread. Yeah, that happens in a double spread. That's 2 pages, right? So according to your logic, right? According to your logic,
one panel.
One panel. It was a double spread. A double
that's
spread.
Still one panel. Like that's one big ass panel.
No, it's okay. So let's say Luffy punching Enel beforehand where it wasn't a double spread. So that happens. All right. So let's say 2 random panels of Luffy and Enel fighting, right? According to your logic, because we see all of Enel versus Luffy, Enel versus Luffy, and because we only see half or like 2 pages worth of Lucci versus Zoro, therefore it has to be the exact same amount of time. You're saying it's at least the exact same amount of time.
No, because that was only one punch. I'm saying we see more combat. Bro, we've seen more combat from Yamato and Kaido than we did from Lucci and Zoro.
We've seen more combat from Enel and
Luffy.
From them. We've seen more combat from Enel and Luffy versus Kizaru. Sorry, not Kizaru. I keep saying Kizaru. Zoro and Lucci. That don't mean nothing. We know 2 of them. We know Luffy and Enel pre-time skip were way slower than those 2.
What?
So just because it's the goddamn, just because we see more combat and there's less pages don't mean nothing.
How does it not? That really didn't make any sense what you just said.
I did. Okay, so let me just say, so we see 2 people who are way slower than Zoro and Lucci post time skip, right?
All right.
We see more combat come from the slower people. According to your logic, that would mean the slower people fought for the exact same amount of time as the faster people, even though that by definition highly unlikely or just not true.
Oh, because they're slower?
Yeah, I'm just giving an example. I'm not gonna claim Zoro Yamato, so I'm just saying as an example, we have 2 people, right? We have 2 people, 2 different situations. More combat is shown for these people who are clearly slower, and then less are shown for the people who are.
Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter how long they were fighting. The point is that they displayed. If you see the same amount of combat between 2 fights, you can gauge how relative they are equally because you see the same amount of combat, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. You don't see the same amount of combat, so you can't.
You see more combat from Kaido and Yamato.
Yeah, well, so now you're just shifting the goalposts. You started off originally by saying because we see more combat, we can assume it's at least the same amount of time. And now you're saying, well, now we can say that Yamato and Kaido are at least more relative than Lucci and Zoro because there's more
No, no, I'm
combat. You're
saying
changing the
no, 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 I'm
goalpost.
not saying that they're more relative. I'm saying that we can gauge how relative they are just as equally, right? Or more. But
More? Okay, you can gauge more, but if we
yeah,
have one panel to
exactly.
go off of, if we have one panel to go off of, they're both serious, right? We already argued over that. We have one panel to go off. They're both serious, right? Then you'd have to show me another piece of evidence that shows that, oh wait, these people aren't relative. But because the fight happens off screen, you can't show me that. You're arguing from ignorance now. You're literally just delving into the realm of unknowns. That's not how
No,
debates
because
work.
we have no context of that fight. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We see the one like if we have just seen one
Okay, so
panel of
so am I supposed to
Yamato versus
assume that after they go relative for the first time, and then later we see them they're still fighting going relative supposedly? Am I supposed to assume that Uchi was just beating the dog crap out of Zoro, but then it suddenly stopped just so we can see this scene at this point in time?
no,
You think
but
that makes any
you
sense?
can't make the
You you
claim
you're
that
literally
they're
you're literally
equal.
assuming
I'm just
things
saying you
based off
can't make
nothing.
no. You're assuming shit. You're making the
What
claim
am
that
I
they're equal.
assuming?
You're making the claim that they're equal. That was your claim, right?
Yeah, they're going relative because the context implies that they're both being serious and then they both clash and they're both shown to be fighting later on. You're trying to say, well,
I just showed you another instance where the same shit happened, but they're not equal. They're shown to be going all
we
out and
already we whoa,
clashing.
whoa, whoa, we already argued over this. We already argued over this earlier. You never. Well, okay, so you said they're fighting, right? Is there a shown panel where like Yamato and Kaido go relative, like
Yes,
like equal,
yes,
like
yes,
they clash?
yes. They literally. Oh wait, yeah, yeah. Hold on. We could drop this whole thing and we just go to that example. Yamato and Kaido,
Okay,
they
so
touch and they clash, and they're not equal.
why
That's
why
cool,
are they
right?
not relative? Why are they not relative?
Wait, why are they not relative?
Yeah, if
Okay,
they meet
hold on.
all
Let
the
me think about
requirements
that
that
for a
I've
second.
specified for relativity, why are they not relative?
Because Kaido is the strong. I mean, Yamato's been wanting to beat Kaido and couldn't beat Kaido. Couldn't do shit to Kaido. Kaido
Yeah,
locked her up in
but
the
that
basement
could be
against her
because of
will.
Kaido. That could be because of Kaido's speed. That could be because of Kaido's durability. That could be because of Kaido's endurance. I already specified this earlier.
What?
Just because they're relative in one aspect doesn't mean they have to be relative in all aspects. Those other
I was
things
saying
could
that
be
they're
why
relative in
Yamato's
strength.
never beaten Kaido. That's whatever.
So you're not claiming that Shanks and Whitebeard are relative in general. You're claiming that they're relative just in AP. That's it.
Yeah, they're relative. They're relative in AP, and they could also
So you're
be.
not claiming that they're relative in all around strength. You're not claiming that.
Well, yeah, they can. There can be. There's extra evidence for that.
What's the other evidence then?
The other evidence is because they're both able to do some similar things to Kanu. They're Shanks. Actually, no. There's evidence for
What?
Shanks being
Shanks blocked
faster.
one hit
Well,
from
hold on,
Mike.
hold on, hold on, hold on. There's evidence for Shanks being faster, low key.
What? What is it?
When he blitzes a Kanu when he enters the battlefield.
He blitzes a kind of yeah. He just came out of nowhere and blocked it.
Yeah. So that is that not a blitz? Even though he was nowhere to be seen beforehand.
Is that a blitz? I mean,
Like you
no,
think of it
no,
this
that's
way.
not a blitz.
Shanks' hockey is implied to always be like surging. When we see them clash, Kobe is literally knocked out because of the hockey that's emanating from Shanks. Like, do you think nobody
That's not a
would
blitz
have
because
noticed? Do you think nobody would have
Akanu's
noticed if he
moving
was
towards
amongst the
him.
bystanders watching that? But with his immense hockey, you think it kind of would still be focused on Kobe when this nigga with the like one of the strongest hockeys in the series was right next to him?
I mean, obviously, he was focused on Kobe, or else he would have like seen
Oh
Shanks.
yeah, but Kobe can't do anything. He's a no-name Marine who's crying in front of a Kainu. Even if you don't know how
But he
strong he is,
disrespected Akainu. That's why he was
yeah,
mad. He
it
disrespected
don't
him.
matter if he disrespected the Kainu when one of the strongest people in the world is right next to him, flexing his presence.
That's not a blitz because Akanu's moving towards Shanks. Shanks just had to get in the way. Akanu's moving towards Shanks.
Yeah,
Shanks is not moving
yeah,
towards
you
him.
realize speed is distance over time, right? We
Yep.
Shanks's distance is likely really far away because his presence is
How
unknown.
far
Even
is
though
it?
we,
Quantify that.
I don't need to quantify it to say that it's like completely out of a kind of sense.
I mean, can you prove that it's farther than Akanu was from Kobe?
Okay, we literally see in the panel that everyone around is standing back. So hey, let's say
Wait,
the
what?
baseline, the bare minimum is that Shanks is standing amongst the bystanders who are watching the kind of talking to Kobe. Right?
Prove that's the bare
They're
minimum.
standing far away.
Prove that.
You want me to show you the scan?
Yeah. You're gonna prove
Okay.
that the bare minimum that Shanks was away was like in the line of the bystander.
Yeah.
Okay, prove it.
Hey, anyone got that scan? The scan? Okay, no, here it is. Here's the scan where he like does intercept, right? If you look at the far left,
Yep.
we can see where all these other people are standing. They're further away from Kobe than Kobe is to Akanu. And that's the bare
Why
minimum
does
where Shanks
Shanks
would
have to
be.
be coming from there? Why?
So you see the background, nobody's close. You see the foreground, which is the camera perspective is far away. There's nobody in front of the camera. You see the people to the left, nobody's right there. You see the right, even though there's a text bubble covering it, you can see nobody standing directly behind Akanu. We
Okay,
see
why does that mean Shanks wasn't there?
all four. So for Shanks to be there, Shanks would literally have to be standing right behind Kobe or right behind Akanu, and Akanu wouldn't have noticed. You know how ridiculous that is?
No, he could have been to the right or left, like in his peripheral. Because he's
Bro,
focused on Kobe. He's
to
hunting
the right
down
or left,
Kobe.
that'd still be
He's
right next to
hunting
him.
down Kobe, bro. He's focused on Kobe. He's hunting
Okay,
him
so
down. He's
I
not
told you,
worried about shit
I told
else
you
but
why,
Kobe.
I told you why he wouldn't be focused on Kobe if Shanks was right there.
Bro, there's all sorts of niggas with strong hockeys around. Mihawk is there. Whitebeard is there. Bro, it's a bunch
Mihawk
of
is
niggas.
nowhere near here.
Garp is there. Bro, it's just niggas with strong hockey around. Niggas can sense hockey from
Yeah,
like
but
islands
nobody
away.
is watching the
It's
scene.
plenty of niggas with strong hockey.
Let's say what was it? Mihawk and Garp. Let's say Garp, right?
Mihawk, Garp,
If Garp saw
Sengoku.
this, okay, so hold on. Well, if Sengoku saw this, right? Do you think he would just sit there idly by while Kanu's about to go kill Kobe, not say anything? If Garp was right there, you think he just
I'm not
let
saying
his
they're
other
right there. I'm not saying they're right there. I'm saying that your point was that he knew Shanks was right there because of the
Okay.
hockey, and he still got blitzed. But nigga, bro, he might have not sensed hockey.
That's not my
Plenty of
point. That's
niggas
not
with
my
hockey.
point.
What's your point?
My point is that Shanks was likely far away before this happened because with his I don't know why I said it like that. Before this happened, right? Because Shanks's hockey
Right.
would have alerted Akainu. You think if someone on Whitebeard's level of when it comes to hockey was standing right behind him, do you think he just would just focus all his attention on Kobe? You know how ridiculous that is?
That's my point. I'm saying that his hockey probably didn't alert him because there's so many niggas with strong hockey around.
Yeah, but all those people are further away.
And if
All
Shanks'
those people are
points to
further
be,
away. That's
if
like
Shanks'
saying,
points to be low key, he could like hide his hockey.
okay, let's say you have a jacket on and you're in the middle of a what's it called? Well, you're in the middle of a tundra, right? And then like winds are blowing all around, but then the one right behind you is way stronger because it's way closer or it's way more potent. The reason why I'm comparing it to wind here is because like wind doesn't really work like that. But you get what I'm trying to say?
But yeah, so I'm saying the hockey. We
So
don't know if
let's
hockey
say
works like wind.
you have all these people with strong hockeys around, right? But you think the strength, let's say if you're standing 100 feet away from Garp, you think the hockey presence would be as strong as if he was standing 10 feet away?
I don't know how
So
far he is away from Garp, but
even if you want to say that, oh, all these people are here, those people are incapable of being as close to them as Shanks would be in your
bro,
analogy.
I don't think when Shanks just blocks up his presence is just overwhelming all the other strong niggas. Bro, there's a bunch of strong niggas there with hockey, with crazy hockey, and like is everybody fighting? It's a literal war. I don't think when Shanks pulls up, niggas are just sensing, oh shit, Shanks here. Everybody knows Shanks is here now.
Yeah, but his presence is literally unnoticeable every single
And bro,
time.
we know Shanks can conceal his hockey. It's not like when he's just walking around, everyone's like, oh shit, that's Shanks. Because remember, he walked into the room with the five elders. They didn't know he's right behind that door. He had pulled up and walked in. They're like, oh shit, this nigga's here.
Yeah, because
And he was like literally
isn't trying
10
to
feet
fight.
away
He
from
isn't
them.
trying to fight the five elders, right?
He wasn't trying to fight
when he pulls
IQ
up to,
either until right the last second, until he blocked it. And he wasn't trying to fight him
okay,
either. He
yeah.
just blocked it.
Even if you want to say his hockey was concealed, I already showed you there's no possible place for Shanks to be because we see all the angles and we see all the on the page before this we see all the angles and there's no place for Shanks to be like right behind Akanu to be the same distance as he is to
Bro,
Akanu.
like I said, he could be left or right.
Yeah, I already told you. I already told you. We literally see the perspectives in the page previous.
Just because other niggas aren't to the left or right doesn't mean Shanks wasn't there right before.
I said in the page previous we don't see it.
And page previews, you
So
don't.
unless you think Shanks has the invisible devil fruit.
Wait, show
then,
me the page before. What do you mean the page before?
Let me find it, bro. Rico, do you have it? Do you know what chapter this is?
Wait, what
Yeah,
are
it's
you
probably
before?
the page where what's his name? Shanks Sasuke.
Shanks stops Akainu. I don't know. I can look for it. It's gonna take me a second.
Yeah. Just find the page right before he actually like stops the fist. You can.
All right. Um.
I think it's chapter 580.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay, let me look.
No. Oh wait, I went to 480. I'm retarded. So Shanks pulls up in 580.
I looked at that. That doesn't the Connie thing doesn't happen in that chapter, I don't think.
Must have been the
Looking at
page. Yeah, it must have been chapter before.
Yeah, I'm looking at should be. Yeah, we see other perspectives here. Let me download this image.
Oh, okay, I see it. You're talking about this right here, right?
I mean, I just posted it.
Yeah,
You
but
see
nah, you
what we
see.
see in the first page I posted. We literally see the foreground, which is where the camera is from. Nobody's standing in their way. Nobody close enough, at least. We see to the left, nobody's standing right there. To the right, you can't really see it that much because someone's arm is blocking it, someone's legs blocking it. When you see the next page, we literally see the other angle, and the other angle is
Okay,
nobody
so
standing
you see the
anywhere
picture
close.
I sent, right? So
Yeah,
that means Shanks is in the line. At minimum, he's in the line of niggas right behind Kobe,
yeah, but those people are
right?
literally so far away. They're clouded by the dust.
They're not that far away. There's a nigga like right there. There's one
Yeah,
nigga right behind Kobe.
even if they're quote unquote not that far away, to cover how long that distance is compared to how far away Akainu is from Kobe, those are way farther distances. The hell? They're standing.
Okay, so
This is like me talking to you in a conversation versus someone like
and
I don't know.
I really don't think there's not Aiknu's full speed for sure, but where does Aiknu's speed scale? Like where are you trying to get Shanks to? Where does
Okay,
his
so he's
speed
able to
scale?
go relative to Whitebeard. I said they're either relative in speed or above. Sorry, or like equals.
This is a heavily fatigued and sick Whitebeard.
Heavily fatigued and sick.
Yeah,
It's unlikely that the fatigue made him weak, slower.
fatigue makes you slower, bro. That's what fatigue does.
So I shouldn't say fatigue. Wait, why is he fatigued?
She just fought everybody and their mama, and like they said that he
Wait,
took like
who were the people? Who were the people he fought? Because I remember he tried to swing at Kizaru. He dodged that, and then they don't have an interaction ever since. He tries to fight Kuzan. He also like he does the future sight thing where he molds around the spear, and then they don't have an interaction after that. And then he meets Akanu, and they're fighting for a little bit, and then he gets like later on he gets his face blown off, and then he's still able to land hits on Akanu.
yeah, and he pulled up
So
and he was already
like
bloody.
bro,
Like, he was bloody as shit.
we literally see half his face gets blown off. Unless you think that Kaino's the
Yep.
slowest person ever
So
walked the earth.
I'm
There's
saying
no way he's
before,
getting tagged
like
by someone
literally
missing
before
half a
the
face.
war, before even the war started, Whitebeard's coughing and like shoving pills down his throat and saying, "Oh shit,
Yeah,
like I'm in a
that
bad
can
state."
signify
Saying I'm in a
that can
bad
signify
state.
he's weaker. You realize
He's always weakened.
the first scan I posted in this debate says that if he takes his nutrients, he's as strong as he was in his prom.
No, I
Yeah,
said when he's like hooked up to his
He can be
shit.
weaker. I'm arguing for speed.
I said what? I saying when he's hooked up to his shit. Like when he clashed with Shanks, yeah, he's hooked up to his shit. So sure, he's full
Yeah.
strength.
So they're equal in
But
strength,
not
but I'm
anymore.
arguing for
Now
speed.
when he gets to now when he gets to Aiknu, and even before on the ship, he's saying I'm not in good shape. Like he's
Oh yeah,
literally saying
he's not
I'm
in good
weakened.
shape referring to strength. He's not in good shape referring to strength. Where
Yeah.
does it imply speed?
What do you mean? It's all around. Like if you're sick, if you're not in good shape, you're bro. What? If you're not in good shape, you're
Yeah,
overall
so okay,
weaker.
hold on.
You're not as
So
good.
you're dropping the
What?
fatigue point because now you're moving on to the
What do
sickness.
you mean?
You said he's fatigued and sick, and I
I'm
attacked
saying like a
fatigue first,
heavily.
right?
I said he's a heavily weakened and fatigued Whitebeard. He's weakened. He's
Okay,
fatigued because he
so hold
fought
on.
before.
I got a question for you. So if you so remember when they were like fighting each other before his face gets blown off,
They're fighting. Yeah,
right? So they weren't they exchanging blows, going relative?
exchanging blows. Not really. Like they were. Whitebeard was. They were kind of boxing, and then not really. They didn't really exchange blows. Whitebeard only got 2 big hits, and then Aiknu got like 1 or 2 big hits.
Yeah, but
They were
I'm
just
pretty sure
dodging.
those big hits happen after he gets his full spleen off. Are you talking about like when he gets
Oh
temporarily
yeah,
knocked out?
that's what I'm talking about. That was one of the big hits when he got his face blown off, and then he hit him like in the chest.
Yeah, but what were Whitebeard's two big hits? Because the biggest hits I remember was when
Whitebeard got
he
the
took his
first big
hat.
hit when he first pulled up, and then later when he put him in the ground. That was it.
Okay, okay, so he's able. What? Okay, so they're able to land hits on each other, right?
Yeah, it doesn't mean you're
So
equal
that
in
implies
speed.
relativity in speed, right? You think that
No,
so much faster, yet he decides to get hit by 2 attacks, or Whitebeard so much faster he decides to get hit by 2 attacks. That's unlikely. So they're relative because they're exchanging blows, and then unless you think Akainu's the slowest person in the world, after he blows off Whitebeard's face, he still gets tagged by him, right?
oh no, they are. So they are
And
relative, but it's a weakened
where this
Whitebeard.
all
He's
leads,
relative to a weakened Whitebeard.
and where this all leads is to the fact that if you think if we see that they're still able to go somewhat relative after Whitebeard gets half his face blown off, what do you think a sickness is doing to his speed?
A lot. What do you mean? A sickness is doing a whole lot. If a nigga's talking about, oh, I gotta shove pills down my throat, I'm sick as shit. I think he's way slower than his prime, and
Yeah,
he's
but
old. He's old right now, bro.
this
He's
is
old. He's fatigued, and he's sick. This is nowhere
okay.
near
So
his
I
prime.
already
This is
told you why the
nowhere near
fatigue
his
wouldn't
prime.
do much. I already told you why the fatigue wouldn't do much. So I don't know why you're bringing that up again. And then when we're coming to the slow part, you're saying oh he's slow because he has to take pills and all that. But you realize this is fiction, right? And if Oda is showing us that these people were going relative before and after such big hits, unless you can provide extra evidence as to why this is the case, it's unlikely that something like his sickness would make him way slower when like half a hole being punched in his
His
face.
sickness is making him slower. The whole point is that the nigga started the war saying, I'm weaker. He's literally saying, nigga, I'm weaker. That's his whole thing on the ship. He's saying,
Yeah,
I'm weaker.
weaker, not
And
slower.
then
Weaker, not
even
slower.
when I'm weaker, bro, it's
Weaker,
all
not slower.
around, nigga. Why would you just,
Well, why is
bro,
it all around?
if you're sick, what do you
I
mean?
already
If
told
you're
you that
sick
the
and you're
sickness
old,
only. I already
you're
told you. I
slowing
already
your
told
prime.
you the sickness likely refers to strength because
Why? 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 What the fuck,
okay, so
nigga?
let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
Tell me why.
They're exchanging blows before Whitebeard gets a hole punched in his head, and after Whitebeard gets a hole punched in his head, he's able to land hits on Akainu. Unless you think Akainu is the slowest or dumbest person, like when it comes to fighting in the series, then there's no reason for him
That
to have
doesn't
been
make
hit
any
by.
sense, bro.
Okay,
I'm saying that he
it
was
does make sense.
slower when the war started. When the war started, he was already slower and faster than he should be if he wasn't
Okay,
sick.
well, and then I'm
When
asking,
the
do you
war
think, do you
started, and
think,
then he's still
do you
relative
think?
to Aikinu.
Let
Lost
me ask you a
slower.
question. Do you think a sickness is nerfing him as much as the hole punch in his head
A
when
six
it
is
comes to
nerfing
speed?
him as much as the hole punch in his head. When it
He
comes to
literally
speed,
half his face is
yes,
missing. So
yes.
then
When it comes to
why is he able
yes,
to tag Akainu before he gets the hole punched in his head, and then after he's able to get the hole punched in his head? Why can he
because I
do
just
both
said
of those things?
I just said that the sickness is making him slower. Like the sickness is doing more to his speed than the hole is. Because
Yeah,
nigga,
prove
if
it.
you put a
Well,
hole,
you already said you
what do
okay.
you mean
So
prove
you
it?
kept saying you kept hold on. You kept saying earlier, well, if you think someone has to take pills, they're definitely slower. But I'm saying someone doesn't like Whitebeard is the type of guy to not get slower after such a monumental hit. It's your burden now to prove that the sickness is above the monumental hit as getting half his head blown off. What's that based off of?
Because after he got his head blown off, he didn't say I'm weaker. But after his
Yeah, a
sickness,
nice
he
argument
said
from ignorance.
I am
Nice,
weaker. What do
nice
you mean?
argument
Is
from
the
ignorance.
argument from ignorance? How?
You said, well, he didn't say this, so it can't be the case. That's basically what you just said. That's
No,
argument from
I'm
ignorance.
saying that the sickness was so crazy that he had to literally call out and let the audience know, nigga, I'm weaker. Like I'm telling you right now, I am weaker. He literally had to do
An
that.
argument from
That's how crazy it was. How was that an argument from ignorance, bro? It doesn't make any sense.
yeah, you just explained it. You just explained it yourself. It's argument from ignorance.
No, I
You said,
didn't.
well,
I
he
just
didn't say it this time, so therefore it can't be. Harder.
no. I'm not saying therefore it can't be. You're asking me which one do I think it is, and which one has more evidence towards it. This one has more the higher like evidence. This one has more evidence.
Yeah, and the evidence you brought up was a fallacious argument.
It's not fallacious.
Why
What
is it not
fallacy
placed?
is it? What fallacy
Okay,
is it?
it's the argument from ignorance. You're literally saying because he doesn't say this when this event happens, therefore it can't be the case because when he said he does it now, he does it earlier.
No, I'm not
Do you
saying
think do you
that's not
think
what I'm
Luffy
saying.
needs to announce? Do you think Luffy needs to announce every time he's going serious for us to think he's going serious? Because he doesn't do
No,
that every fight.
no, I'm saying one time. I'm saying if there's one point where all we know is that he says I'm going serious, and then there's another point where he doesn't say that, the other one has more evidence for him being serious. Obviously, right? That's
Okay,
common sense.
then what if Luffy pushes himself to his limits, like by going Gear 5 or something that drains his stamina so much,
And there's
and he
more
uses it
evidence the
multiple
other
times.
way.
He's
There's
always
more
talking about.
evidence for that because that's evidence, right? Him going
So
all out
him
and using Gear
going
5 again,
going his
that's evidence.
absolute hardest, right, with Gear 5 plus Conquerors is less evidence than him saying I'm going all out.
Him going
That's
all.
basically what you're saying right here.
No, I'm
That's
saying
basically what you're saying right here. We
us
literally
seeing.
see the concept, we literally see the circumstances as what's happening on Marineford, right? And we literally like just because Whitebeard doesn't announce he got slower, just because he doesn't announce he got weaker after he gets the hole blown in his head, that don't mean nothing. You're literally arguing from ignorance.
No, I'm not. I just told you that has more evidence for that, bro. Because you
Oh
didn't
my
show me.
gosh, yeah.
What's that?
Your evidence is a fallacious argument. You're saying because he
No,
didn't
it's
do there,
not. Because
therefore it's
you
not.
didn't show me. No, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying therefore it's not. I'm just saying that this one has more evidence. I keep telling you that, but you keep ignoring it.
Yeah. You're saying okay. You're saying the evidence is that he says he got weaker.
Yeah. What's the evidence
Well,
for the other side? What's the evidence for
my
the other
evidence
side?
as to why he wouldn't get slower is because after he gets the hole punch in his head, he's still going relative with the time.
Okay, so getting a hole punch in his head didn't make him slower, but
So you think?
a
So you think?
sickness did because he said it did.
Yeah, you're conflating weaker to slower. Well, what does weakness, when it comes to your physical strength, have to do with you being
I don't
slower?
even think he said weakness. He just said like, bro, like I'm sick as fuck. Like I'm not in good shape. I'm pretty sure he just said some shit along those lines. If you're sick as fuck,
Yeah, not in good shape. I
if you
already
got
provided evidence.
cancer and you're old as shit,
I already provided evidence as to why it's likely referring to strength because of that scan I showed you at the very start of this debate.
and he's old too. In One Piece, when you get old, you get all around like you get weaker. When I say weaker, I mean in general, like your fighting ability all around. He got weaker
Yeah,
when you get old.
slower. Okay, so where does it state that it's being slower? Like bring one example of another old nigga. When did
Other
they get
old
slower?
nigga, okay, Garp. No. What do you mean get slower? I'm saying getting
Yeah,
weaker in
you're
general.
saying overall would include getting slower. So if they're
Well, yeah.
overall, where has it been implied where this would include speed?
Okay. Well, when a nigga turns 80 years old and then he says, I got weaker from my prime, it just follows that he's probably slower too, right? That's
Based
common
on
sense.
what?
Because the nigga's 80 and he's talking about, I'm
That's
half as
circular.
strong. What do you mean?
You just said, well, if he says he's 80, then it's reasonable to assume that he got slower. And I said, based on what? Because he's 80. That's circular. If you're gonna repeat
Because
yourself, you're
why
gonna repeat
why
yourself. Let's move on.
why would,
You're gonna
why would
repeat
he
yourself.
get
Let's move on.
but why would his age make him less strong but not less fast? Because isn't his muscles are just getting weaker because he's getting older? That's it.
Yeah, but this is anime. You don't have to apply everything one for one. I already provided evidence as to why mine's the case. If you're trying to appeal to reality, that's whatever, right?
I'm
But
not
I'm just
I'm
gonna
appealing
say,
to one like I'm appealing to common sense. Like a nigga saying, yeah, I
okay,
got
so
less weak.
you think it's common sense for mystical abilities that allow people to shatter islands in half? You think it's common sense for mystical abilities that allow people to turn themselves into rubber, turn themselves into giant fish, be 21 feet tall, no complications? Like, you think all of this is common sense? You think this is logical? This is One Piece.
Yes, you can still apply common sense to One Piece,
Yeah,
bro.
you could still apply, but why would this
One Piece has
common
logic.
sense
One
apply?
Piece, there's
Well,
logic in One Piece.
what evidence would there be to say that this common sense applies? Like, you could say common sense is
Uh,
that a man and a woman makes a baby, right? Whatever, right? But then if you say, well, hold on, well, then, if you get older, you get slower, even though this is a
because he
series
said he got
where
less
age.
weak.
Okay,
I mean, he said he got less strong.
why does
That's what
weak
I meant.
why does weak equal speed?
Because he doesn't, bro. The nigga don't have to say, "Oh, I got weaker. I got less durability. I got less fast." He
Okay,
doesn't have to lay it all out.
okay, so
It's just
that
common
doesn't
sense
answer
that
my
the nigga
question.
says, I'm 80,
That doesn't
so
answer my
I'm
question.
80, so I'm weaker, but I'm still just as fast. It doesn't really make no sense, bro.
Yeah, but why does it not make sense? Why does it not make sense?
I just told you.
Well, based on what?
Oh my god, this nigga. Okay, we're moving on now.
Oh,
We gotta
yeah,
move on.
exactly. No, it's circular.
No, you
You
don't
were about
have
to
me.
say
What do
You
you
were about to say
mean?
because he's old.
That
You
is
were
the
about to say 'cause
logic.
he's
That
old.
is the logic. You can't just keep asking why after I told you the whole logic. Like I already told you
Oh
logic.
my gosh,
A
the
nigga
logic is
said a nigga
circular.
is it's not circular. You just keep asking why after the
Okay,
logic is
so
already there.
let me break this. Let me
A
break this
regular
down
nigga
to you, right?
understands that
Let
logic.
me break this down to you. Like, all right, like outside of the debate, this is like to actually help with debating. Like, let's say my argument is that Luffy's above Zoro because Zoro's relative to King and King's below Luffy, right? If you say why is Zoro relative to King, and I bring up scans, you say, wait, why are they relative? And I say, well, this is the evidence, right? That's one thing. But you're saying the evidence leads to the premise.
I'm saying
What you said originally.
for most niggas on the planet, but they will accept. Oh, a nigga said he's 80 years old, so he's not as fast, or so he's not as strong. Oh, he's probably. I'm not just gonna assume he's full speed. You're the only nigga who's gonna assume
Well,
they're
hold
full
on.
speed.
I'm not assuming
You're
anything.
the
You brought
only
this
nigga
up.
who's gonna
You brought this up.
assume
I'm
they're
not
full
assuming
speed.
anything. You brought this up. I'm not assuming anything. You brought this original claim. I'm asking you to prove it. You keep going
Okay, so
circular.
because I already told you what it implies, bro. If a nigga says
Yeah,
I'm 80, so I'm
That's
not as
that's
strong,
whatever. That's
it
whatever. That's whatever.
implies
We
that he's
already
not as
argued over that.
fast
I was just
either.
trying to help
Yeah.
you. I was just trying to help you when it comes to like actual debate. Because like, if I say, well, the evidence is right here, that's one thing. But what you're saying is, if you were saying that exact same thing I said, you would say, well, the reason why they're relative is because I said they're relative. Those are two different things.
No. I just told you what it
Well, that
implies.
wasn't the
There's an
best analogy. That
implication.
wasn't the best analogy.
There's an
My fault.
implication. There's an implication.
Yeah, but you're saying the implication leads to itself. That's circular.
Implication doesn't lead to itself. It's an
Yeah,
implication.
I'm not saying it
The
does in general. I'm
implication
saying
leads
that's what
to
you're saying.
him just being weaker overall. Like all of his stats are just not as good.
So I said, why is he? You said he's 82, therefore he's weaker.
What do you mean? Why
And
does
then you
it
said, well,
imply
hold on,
that?
sorry, he's 82, therefore he's overall slower, weaker, less durable, less powerful, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I'm saying, well, why? Well, why does that apply generally? You said because he's older, and you said it doesn't make any sense to be otherwise. You provided no
My,
evidence.
my answer to that was that like if a nigga's getting weaker in general, that means that his muscles are just getting weaker, right? So why would he
Oh
just
my
get
gosh,
not as strong but not as fast?
that's loaded. That's a loaded question. Sorry, I should say loaded question. You didn't ask a question, but then that's assuming when he says weaker, he means in general. So you see how that gets us nowhere. If
Yeah,
I
it
ask you,
implies that.
why does weaker be in general? And you're saying, well, if he's getting weaker overall, then therefore his muscles are getting smaller, therefore he'd be less fast. You realize how you just skipped over the question I asked?
How? What? What are you talking
Okay,
about?
so you said, oh yeah, he's 82. He says he's getting weaker, right? And then I'm like, what does weaker mean in this case? You said slower, less durable, less powerful, right?
Yeah.
Uh, And then I said, well, hold on. Okay, so if that's what you think, what evidence is there to show that this means in general? You said the evidence there is to show this means in general is because he's 82. See how that doesn't work? You're
Oh
starting
my
off
god.
by saying
That
he's
wasn't my
82.
evidence.
Yes,
So,
it
all
was.
right.
That's what
So
you kept
wait.
saying.
So are you claiming that Whitebeard is his prime speed or not in Marineford?
Well, hold on. I'm not going to claim anything because you started off. You started off by saying
So
you started
what do
off by
you?
making the
So
claim
what
he
are you
wasn't.
claiming? What are you claiming Aiknu is relative to? A prime Whitebeard or not in speed? What are you claiming Aiknu is relative to in speed?
Oh, hold on. I'm saying Shanks. Shanks is relative to Whitebeard, who's most
We said
likely.
he. Wait, no, 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 no,
Let
no.
me
You said
rephrase it. Let me
relative
rephrase
to
it. So
Whitebeard
I
in
get your
speed, and
question.
you said he
I
drifts
get your question.
Aiknu.
Let me rephrase it. I get your
Yeah.
question. Let me rephrase it. I'm saying Shanks is relative to Whitebeard, right? Like because they both it's either Shanks is faster or they're at least relative because they're both able to
What?
stop a Kainu. And that's what I said earlier.
Oh,
That
you're
the
saying
Shanks
he's
is at least faster. The Shanks is at least faster, but bare minimum they're equals or relative in speed, right?
not a prime Whitebeard though, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying that old Whitebeard. When we started arguing, you
You're
said,
saying he's
"Well, hold
relative to
on."
old, sick, and fatigued Whitebeard, right?
But I already told you that it's unlikely he got slower.
Wait, at all? You're saying he didn't get slower at all from being old, sick, or fatigued?
Yeah.
So you are claiming that he's relative to a prime Whitebeard in speed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so all right. Well, I guess we gotta stay on the old, sick, and fatigue shit.
Well, hold
So
on.
we
We
are
already argued over it. My
no,
argument
no, no,
was,
no, no. Hold
well,
on,
hold on. We
What?
already technically argued over it. My argument was, well, he got a hole punched in his head, but he's still able to go at the same speed. So I doubt a sickness would also make him slower than he normally is. And
Yeah, I
then
mean
we
that's
argued
not
over
logical.
that. Then we argued over that by
That's
you
not
saying, well, the
logical.
sickness, huh? Oh,
That's
well,
not
hold on. Well,
logical.
that's cool, but we already argued over it.
No, we
already
didn't.
argued over it.
We
Yeah,
really
we
didn't
did.
argue
Well,
over
so
that.
when you said the sickness makes him slower, then what were you talking about then? Were we
I mean,
not talking about
I
the
didn't get to
sickness?
respond to you just saying that shit.
Yes, you did. We were
What I
talking
say?
about the sickness that okay, so you said, well, it's unlikely because he's 82, he says he gets weaker. Weaker likely means overall. And then I gave you the ramble about circular reasoning, right? Remember that?
Yeah, but that didn't make any sense either. Because the nigga said I'm weaker
Yeah,
overall.
that's cool.
Pretty
If you don't
much.
think it makes any sense, let's move on. If we already argued over it, it's cool if you don't think I make any sense. Let's just
And
move on.
and he fought
We've already been debating for an hour. You know that, right?
he fought niggas before I knew too. So
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, but we already went. Now you're backtracking. We
So
already over it.
so he's fatigued to some
Hold on.
arbitrary amount. And then he's also sick to some arbitrary amount, and he's old to some arbitrary amount. So he's not. Well, he's not prime.
Now you're backtracking. Now you're backtracking. I
Ow.
already addressed okay. The three people I remember him fighting were all three of the admirals, and every other interaction he had with an admiral that wasn't a Kainu was a short interaction that likely did nothing against him.
I mean, there's a lot of off-screen shit too, but all right. So
yeah,
we went
then
over.
That'd be arguing from unknowns.
Yeah, it's just it's like an arbitrary amount. All we know is that he's not full stamina. We just know that for sure.
That's
all we
cool.
know.
We already argued over it. We already argued over it. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
All right, we can move on now. So
all right. So my scale, if you remember at the very start of the debate, is that Mihawk above Shanks relative to Whitebeard in speed and strength, and therefore, because Roger was Whitebeard's equal, that would mean Mihawk beats Roger. That's my skill.
Well, Roger's not Whitebeard's equal.
Why not?
Because Whitebeard's not Roger's greatest foe. And when they tied when Roger was deathly sick, right? He had a crazy illness that was going to kill him in a year.
Hold on.
Roger had cancer.
I wanted that.
Okay. So, I mean, well, we don't got to...
said the greatest foe.
Yeah, he's not his greatest foe. Yeah, we start with that.
Yeah, greatest foe. You realize when the greatest foe statement, right? That's in context to when he fought Rox D. Zebek. I kid you not, 13 years before he found the One Piece, and 12 years, and 12 years before he fought and 12 years before he fought Whitebeard for 3 days on that island in Odin's flashback. That was 12 years ago. Why does that still apply to modern day?
What do you? No. That statement was made like. What are you talking about? That statement was made after Whitebeard's death. That was made like.
Well, hold on. No. I'm not talking about in real world. I'm talking about in the timeline of the One Piece universe. The statement is referring to, oh yeah, he was his greatest foe, like 12 years ago, right? You know what? Actually, let me break.
Wait, the statement was made during.
Hold on. Let me break this down even more. I get where you're getting confused, right? So when I'm saying greatest foe, right? He can be his greatest foe of 12 years ago. My greatest foe, 12. Well, I'm 15, right? Yeah. My greatest foe 12 years ago was this guy in my preschool who I didn't like. And I've never had a greatest foe ever since then.
That wasn't the statement. The statement was that Roger's greatest foe is Rox, and Roger's foe was also Whitebeard, but he's not as good as Rox, though.
Well, yeah, but greatest doesn't mean strongest. Greatest just means it's like better. What does a better foe entail? Does every foe have to be physically stronger than the last? Let's say,
yeah, it implies
let's talk about politics, right? Let's say Biden's political foe is Donald Trump, and that's his greatest political foe ever. But like back in 2008, he ran against someone else who's physically younger and stronger than Trump. Does that mean because Trump is Biden's greatest foe that Trump beats everyone who?
Huh? They're not fucking fighting. Like
exactly.
Biden and
Trump. Hold on. Yeah, but foe in general doesn't mean that it has to be referring to fighting. Foe just means opposition.
Yeah, it's like
it doesn't matter what they're doing. It just means opposition.
MMA niggas, like the best MMA fighter, his greatest foe is going to be the nigga who pushed him the hardest, right? Who had the closest fight.
Yeah. That's your interpretation. I'm giving an alternate interpretation.
Okay, of an MMA fighter, you're going to tell me there's another interpretation for that.
Yeah. Okay. So the other interpretation, right? Want to hear it?
Yeah.
That was his greatest obstacle at the time, therefore making him his greatest foe. Have you never seen anyone use foe that way? Like, because he was his biggest obstacle at the time, he was his greatest foe. That doesn't necessarily mean he's the strongest, even today.
Nah, because look, if there was some nigga, if there was an MMA nigga and then he fought a nigga, it was like, but it has to be the best MMA fighter of all time for this to work. So if it was the best MMA fighter of all time and then he fought a nigga, and then 12 years later he fights another nigga, and then they also like is close as fuck. They're gonna say the greater foe is the nigga that is stronger, right? That's common sense.
Yeah, but then that'd be assuming that Rocks from 13 years ago is equal to Rod sorry to equal to Roger and what's his name Whitebeard 13 years later. That's an assumption.
But Whitebeard and Roger they fought like a bunch of times. It wasn't just that
Yeah,
one
they
time.
fought a bunch of times after God Valley, right? And I'm telling you, greatest foe doesn't necessarily have to refer to strength. It just means biggest opposition, biggest
Okay,
option
that
opposite. Like, bro, my biggest op is Gump, right? But does that mean, let's say I start beefing with Dwayne the Rock Johnson tomorrow, right? Does that mean Gump, despite being my biggest foe, is stronger than Dwayne the Rock Johnson?
okay. Well, that's your shitty interpretation. We can move on to the other point
Yeah,
that I had.
yeah, but it's equal interpretation because you didn't provide any evidence as to why yours is above mine.
No, I told you why mine is more likely already, but I don't want to repeat it.
Based
You're
on
gonna say
what?
it's circular reasoning. Wait, what?
Based on what? Based on what?
I'm saying if you fight two niggas and they say, "Oh, this one nigga was your greatest foe," it's likely that he's just stronger because it was fighting. What y'all
That's
did was
not
fight.
any.
If the other nigga
That's
was
not
stronger,
any.
he would have been the greatest.
That's not any more reasoning as to what I said. I said the same thing, but
Okay.
for my side. So that's
All right, let's
equal
move on.
reasoning. But you made the claim, equal interpretation. The claim doesn't go through. All right. So you got
No,
any other
no.
problem with what I said?
It's not equal. Mine was more
Excluding
likely.
that.
Mine was more likely, but let me move on to the more point or to the next point. When Roger tied with Whitebeard, he had cancer and he was like 1 year away from his death. And that's not full power Roger. Because oh wait, no, we gotta start with
Yeah,
that.
nice
Start with
shotgun,
that
buddy.
point.
Okay, let's go
No,
one at a
no, no,
time.
no, no. Let's start with that point. Let's start with that point. So it was
Starting with
what
him
did I
being
say?
1 year away from his death.
Yeah, he had cancer and he was 1 year away from death. Like it was gonna kill
Okay,
him anyway.
show me the statement that's referring to him being sick. When did he get sick?
When did he get sick?
Yeah.
Hold on, I'd have to find it. All I know is that the nigga died a year after that.
Yeah, but you realize he died by execution, right?
Because he was sick, that's why he turned himself in.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean he like at the time, like a year before, he was at his absolute worst, or it'd be significant. The sickness could be getting progressive. That's why he
Yeah.
decided to turn himself
So I'm
in.
saying a year before it's gonna kill you, it's gonna be pretty bad, or it's gonna at least have an effect on you.
Okay, so okay, you realize I'm pretty sure rabies, for example, takes like a year or less to kill someone, right? But let's say it takes
Hold
exactly a
on, no,
year.
I found a statement. He had it for 4 years before the day of his execution. Rayleigh said that shit, his right hand.
No,
Four
hold on.
years.
When did the
4
Roger
years.
Pirates
So
disband?
he's had it for
Sure,
he's
hold
had
on,
it
hold
for
on. When
four
did the
years.
Roger Pirates disband?
Probably after he got the One Piece. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Because if they disbanded 5 years
Oh
before
no,
he got
I mean
executed,
after he died. I mean probably after he died. It doesn't really matter.
so the
But
Roger Pirates got expelled
all I know
after
is
he died.
when he ran into Whitebeard, he had the whole crew with him
Yeah, but
a year before he died.
that was okay. So I'm trying to figure things out though. I'm trying to figure out the timeline.
Why does it matter? He had the sickness 4 years before he died.
Yeah,
So he had it.
you don't. You're seriously asking why does it matter when something happens on the timeline? That's like saying, oh, my grandpa got sick a year
Wait,
before he died.
what are you trying to
And I'm
find
asking,
out?
wait,
What are you trying to find out on the
when
timeline?
did he win the
What
Gulf
are you
World
trying to find
Championship?
out?
Yeah,
Wait,
I'm
what are you
trying to
trying to
find
find
out.
out?
I'm trying to find out when did he disband his crew and how long was that for? And then when did he fight Odin? Because if he disbanded his crew 5 years ago, right, that means Roger was sick for 4 years, but that doesn't mean his crew was active. But we know for a fact his crew was active when they fought Whitebeard, meaning that he wasn't sick against Whitebeard. That's what I'm asking. You understand?
No. I mean, well, look, we know that he fought Whitebeard a year before he died. We know that,
Oh
right?
yeah, show me that's exactly what I'm asking. Where's the evidence for that? Show me that.
Oh, you're asking where? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, this is a funny ass debate, bro. You go, bro. I'm gonna say.
We found this shit.
Bro, fuck, it's been an hour 20. This debate definitely isn't gonna
This is a
judge.
long ass debate. All right, this shit might be a little bit hard to find. One sec.
What are you looking for?
When the timeline of when Roger fought Whitebeard.
Oh, yeah, good luck with that.
What the hell is this YouTube ass thumbnail? Oh my gosh.
Okay, it was 13 years after. So this is Roger and Whitebeard talking. It was 13 years after he found the One Piece. That's when they
What the
fought.
hell? 13 years after he
Or
found the One Piece?
no, 13 years after he landed on Lodestar Island, and he found the One Piece a year after landing on Lodestar Island. So yeah,
Scan. 4 years before the day of his execution.
I'm taking a picture real
What,
quick while you read that.
bro? What does this? Where in this does it say 13 years? The only thing that happened 13 years before he disbanded his crew or will get turned in or killed or whatever, I can't remember which one. 13 years before that was the God Valley incident. Because like Shanks was like a teenager at that time, and then Shanks was one during the God Valley incident. So it's like around 13 years, if I remember correctly.
Boy, I'm back. What happened?
I'm saying Roger's era happened after God Valley, right? And then he
Yeah,
became the Pirate King after he found the One Piece, and he found the One Piece around 13 to 14 years before after God Valley because Shanks is still a teenager. If it was anything beyond that, Shanks would have been an adult. Well, at
and
the
then
time of Roger's execution.
and then 12 years after he found the One Piece is when, or 13 years after he found the One Piece is when he died, right?
No,
Wait, what? Then when the fuck did he? Wait, he said it took him
no.
13
He
years.
found the One Piece. He found the One Piece a year before he died, and then 13
Wait,
years before he died, the God Valley incident happened.
when we landed on the destination of the final long boat.
Yeah, so
So this
13 years
happened.
ago he already conquered the
Oh,
Grand Line, but he
this
said
was.
there's still an extra island. The extra island is what was
Oh,
it,
so I guess
Lodestar or was
that
it
took him
Redacted?
like 12 years. Yeah, hold on.
Yeah. Right, if you can't find this shit, bro, it's fine.
Oh, okay,
It's
okay,
like with your
okay.
second debate,
No,
third
no, I
debate.
found it. I found it. So it was a year after. I mean, after this, a year after this, he found the One Piece because he wanted
Yeah.
to borrow one for a year. So that means this is 2 years before he died or 3.
Okay, 3 years. So 3 years before he died.
Either way, he's at the scenes for at least a year or 2. A
Okay, well, yeah.
terminal
Well,
illness that's going to
hold on.
kill.
Why does that? Well, hold on. Well, let's say, yeah, like, like let's say cancer, right? I'm not sure if he had cancer. I'm just using cancer as an example. Cancer doesn't come all at once, right? It happens over time. So
Yeah,
unless you can prove, like, it really says, okay, was afflicted. Okay, so he says 4 years before he was executed, Roger became sick,
yep.
right?
A
Yeah,
terminal illness.
sorry, he
Yeah,
was
that's going to
afflicted with
kill
an
him.
illness. It was afflicted with an illness, right?
Yeah.
What does that mean? The illness was at full throttle or enough to make him like weaker? Like, where's the evidence for that?
After 2 years, and it's going to kill you in 2 more years. So it's halfway through. It's 50% done with his shit.
Well,
It's 50%.
okay, so no, that's just 50%. Like in a timeline sense, that doesn't mean the thing is linear. Excuse me, do you think all diseases happen in a linear fashion? Do you think, oh, I
No.
have cancer in the first month, that it will be 10 times worse in the 10th month?
No, it could have got to 99% and then stayed there for 3
Yeah.
years, or it could have stayed at 1% for 3 years. We don't know.
Okay, so
All I know is he's
if
weakened.
it stayed
He's
at
weakened.
if it stayed at 1% for 3 years, okay, you just conceded to my point exactly.
No, what? What are you talking about?
You don't. So I'm saying how much was he weakened when he fought Whitebeard for 3 days? You couldn't answer. You said, well, it could have been
He's
1%. It could have been 1%, or it could have been.
Amount.
Hold on. You said it could have been. You're basically saying it's unquantifiable. If it's unquantifiable, then why are you bringing it up? It's an unknown factor.
Because no,
we're not arguing on unknown.
No, he is weaker.
Oh yeah, weaker by like what?
He is 1%? Not in his prime.
1% or 99? Because we can't answer that question. It's an unknown factor. We can't argue over unknowns. Otherwise, we'd be here all day.
No, we can, because we know that he's not. This is not Prime Roger. We know that this is not Prime Roger.
Oh my God! Well, what does Prime indicate?
I'm saying your feat of Whitebeard tying with not Prime Roger.
I should have asked that question. That's a weird question. But let's say Prime Roger is a day before he gets afflicted with the illness, right? But then the day afterwards, he's like 1% weaker than the day before. We don't know how long he stayed at that 1%. Because it's an unknown, you can't make a definitive claim as you can make a definitive. Hold on, you can't make a definitive claim as to why the gap between Prime Roger and 1 year in Roger is so big that it would cause my skill to shift. Because even if you say Roger and Whitebeard are relative, that still puts Mihawk above.
No, but this is your feat. You're saying that he tied with Roger. But I said, okay, how strong is Roger? You don't know. You have no idea, right?
Hold on. Then okay, so you're lying, right? If you ask me the question, then why the hell are you the one bringing up evidence?
I mean, is it your feet or not, though? Like, it's your feet.
Yeah,
like,
none of my scaling
relies on this feet. None of my scaling relies on this feet.
If I say it's my feet, right? Then that means you have to drop what you're saying. Because that'd be shifting into a different argument. I said, oh yeah, they fought for 3 days, and you said, well, Roger wasn't at his prime, right? But then you say, well, hold on, if they fought for 3 days, argue for it. And I'm saying, well, they fought for 3 days, therefore they're relative. But then if you were to say, well, yeah, well, Roger was sick, then we'd just be arguing over the same crap over again.
But I'm asking you, how strong is the Roger that you're scaling Whitebeard to? How weakened or how strong is he? He's not prime.
He's unquantifiably sick, and because we can't argue of unknowns. That doesn't.
Your scaling is unknown. Is basically what you're saying, because you don't know how strong the Roger that you're scaling him to is.
Hold on. That's not what I'm saying. It's unquantifiable, so it's an unknown factor. We can't really factor that into the equation. Like it's like saying, well, yeah, there's a chance that he was 1%. There's a chance he was 99% weaker. We don't know, so therefore. He's relative. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying because we don't know, we can't bring that up. It's counterintuitive.
But we know for a fact that he was weakened. The only part that we don't know is how much.
Oh, okay. Actually, no. Hold on. This is how it went, right? I said, yeah, these two fought for 3 days, therefore they're relative, right? It's not my burden to now say it's not my burden. Well, yeah. Well, let me quantify.
What do you mean? I'm challenging your evidence.
For 3 days. Then you brought up the fact that he's sick.
Well, hold on. What happened to your mic? Hey, what the fuck did this happen to your mic?
Hold on. One of my earbuds is connected. Let me connect my new one.
Okay, I didn't hear the shit you just said.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. What did you say?
I was saying that no matter which way you slice the cake, it's still your burden.
No, I'm challenging your evidence. I'm saying that I'm challenging you.
You're challenging my evidence with the scan that says Roger's sick, but because we don't know, you can't bring that up in the debate.
Yes, I can. Well, what do you mean?
Yeah,
Bro,
yes,
I can.
Let me rephrase it. You can't use that as a factor. You can bring it up all you want, but unless you have quantifiable evidence why that makes him significantly weaker, my scale doesn't change. That can
Yes, it does, because you're scaling Whitebeard to Prime Roger, but it is not Prime Roger.
Well, I never said he was prime. I never even acknowledged he had a prime. All I said is that they went relative for 3 days, and then you brought up the fact that it's likely he isn't in his prime because of the sickness. They were arguing over that. You're trying to change the narrative. You're switching. You're switching up.
No, but okay. So what was your scale? It was Whitebeard to who, and then
Whitebeard relative to. Oh my gosh, I'm turning. I have a list now. Right, Whitebeard relative to Roger, right, and then Shanks relative to Whitebeard, and then Mihawk above. That's my scale. You said, well, Roger wasn't at his prime.
We're arguing Prime Roger though. Like we're arguing Prime Roger versus Mihawk, right? That's the debate.
Yeah.
So link Mihawk to Prime Roger though.
I
You never linked. You didn't. No, that's not Prime Roger. Like, what are you talking about?
Then that's what we're arguing over. And I'm saying, okay, so even if
we already agreed that it's not.
Hold on. Okay, so even if he's weaker, you can't quantify. Therefore, we can't really take this as a factor. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we can. We just know that it's not Prime. You never linked Mihawk to Prime Roger.
But you realize even if I acknowledge it's not Prime, right? You realize, well, let's say I'm in One Piece, right? And I was born in Roger's era. And I'm 99% as strong as Prime Roger. If I say, well, hold on, Roger was 1% weaker. Sorry, no, hold on. Whitebeard went equal to me, who's 99% as strong as Roger, right? Or relative to me. Would that not mean that same Whitebeard, who Mihawk scales above, would also be above Roger because they'd be relative?
If Roger was at 99%, do you know that, or do you like?
No, that's exactly what you're saying, though. You're trying to shift the burden on me. That's what you're saying. You're saying, well, we don't know how strong he was, but if you can't quantify it, then that don't matter.
No, you actually need to be able to quantify it for your evidence to work.
What the heck?
Yeah,
but you're the one who brought up the fact that he was sick, so it's your burden to quantify it.
No, because I'm challenging your point.
Yeah, you're challenging my point. You're challenging my point by bringing in your own evidence. It's not my
evidence. I'm challenging your evidence.
So if it isn't my evidence, then brought up Roger being sick. Why in the world would I bring up Roger being sick?
You never linked Mihawk to Prime Roger. You just never did it.
Yes, I did. I said he's relative. I said he's above someone who's relative to Prime Roger. And you said, well, hold on.
No,
Roger could be sick. Hold on.
Link Whitebeard to Prime Roger.
Hold on. Prime Roger. I already did the 3-day stuff. Okay, hold on. Let me.
Not Prime.
Okay, hold on. You're not listening, you knucklehead.
All right, what's your point?
So, okay, I said, oh yeah, they're relative because they fought for 3 days, right? And then you said, well, hold on, he's sick. Even if I brought up the point that he's relative, it's not my burden to prove, oh yeah, this Roger is 1% weaker than the previous Roger. Therefore, my sailing still stands. If you're the one who brought up he's sick, it's not my burden. If I said, well, yeah, well, maybe Roger's sick. Hold
it's
on.
Still your burden.
No, it isn't. You're deaf. You're not listening. If it was my burden, if it was my burden, I would have said something like, well, yeah, this is Roger, but he was sick. Then you need to say, well, prove he's close enough to Prime Roger for the scaling not to change. But you're the one who brought it up. So it's not my burden. It's yours.
It doesn't matter who brought it up. It's just some shit that you left out. You just left out the fact that he was not Prime. And then we agreed that he's not Prime. So we agree.
So you think it's impossible for people to lie in a debate? I don't believe the side I'm taking it. By your logic, I would have conceded instantly. But that's not how debates work. I'm taking DA for a reason. The heck?
Yeah, I'm just saying that
your whole point is the
have to prove it. No, that's not how it works. I'm challenging your shit. So for your scaling to stay intact,
bringing up extra stuff. You're bringing up extra stuff by challenging my stuff. You're saying, well, if you were to challenge it without accepting a burden, you could have just said, this is a tip, by the way. You could have just said, is Roger in his prime? Instead of saying, well, Roger isn't. You made a definitive claim he isn't.
Oh, I mean, yeah, he isn't. He for sure isn't.
Oh, exactly. But because we don't know, my whole point is, how can you factor this in if we don't know to what extent he was weakened?
I mean, are you claiming that it's Prime Roger?
That's not my question to answer.
Okay, then you're not scaling me out to Prime Roger?
Oh my, you're such an... Oh, I hate you.
Yeah, you're not listening, bro. Yeah, all right, we can move on. You never linked Mihawk to Prime Roger. We could go to my scaling now.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. We've been debating for an hour.
let me just tell you my scale.
Hold on. Right? We've been debating for an hour and 40 minutes. Nobody's gonna judge this. You just want to say that if anyone ever does want to judge this,
right? We'll just say that if my skill fell apart, you win. If you broke my skill, you win. But if I won my skill, I win. Is that fine?
Just that part right there.
Hmm?
Yeah, they can just start at that part. That should be good. Right when you brought up your skill. But look, let me tell you my skill though. It's
Hold on. Hold on. I'm saying this to save time. I'm not gonna pull like a trick on you, like saying, oh, because you didn't scale, you lose. That's how debates work sometimes in this server. If we don't have, if one of the parties doesn't want to keep going on because it's been taking forever, we can just come to the agreement that, oh yeah, if you beat my skill, you win the debate. If I won my skill, you win. I won the debate. No, that's what I'm saying.
okay. We can just do it that way. Actually, that works.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. All right,
Yeah,
good
nah.
debate.
All right, but.